All right, Treacle.
Hi, this is Dawn. Welcome to the latest episode of From Dial Square to Where, the Arsenal Twitter podcast, which incidentally contains adult content which is definitely not suitable for young children. Please like and subscribe and leave a 5-star review, it really helps. Also, please be sure to visit the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. We have a brand new show, You Can Be the Star, the most interactive Arsenal show, where the twist is the viewer who entertains us the most on the night can join us live on the panel to air their opinions. We have great guests weekly. We've had Kevin Campbell, who was absolutely brilliant. That's still available to watch, and we also have more excellent guests lined up, which is very, very exciting. Thanks for listening.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Hello and welcome to this new edition of From Dial Square to Where. It's the day after the game that we've got many differing opinions on. It was the Aston Villa game at home where we somehow managed to grab a victory from the jaws of defeat, which is always a good thing, and it showed a lot of good character from a lot of good players yesterday rather. But I was still pretty deflated after the win, which is weird because I don't think that's happened very often. But there's still so many deficiencies in the team. The performance overall I thought was very similar to the Watford one, and it's just like our defence, between the sort of midfield and defence, it's like when Moses parted the Red Sea. Just lets everyone just walk through, and it's just, I just hate watching it. It's unsustainable playing like that. And I think the second half showed that the players, specifically Aubameyang, Guendouzi, and I thought that Pepe actually had quite a good game as well. Showed a lot of good promise. It's definitely showing that he's getting there game by game. Good to see him get his first goal as well, thanks to Aubameyang, which was a great thing for him to do. But I thought that we won the game in the second half despite the manager. I thought the players, the ones that I mentioned specifically, Owen Chambers, when he came on, he was excellent. Took it upon themselves to really grabbed the ball by the horns and dragged us through. The tactics, well, I'd like someone to really describe the tactics to me. I don't think anyone has so far on Twitter. It's just shambolic, really. Like I said earlier, we just can't sustain this kind of play. Just having Aubameyang specifically sort of rescue us all the time, it's just not possible. Like I said, it's just like the players are just from the opposition are allowed to just take the ball and run straight to the edge of our area, and I don't actually know the specific analysis of the match regarding shots conceded and stuff like that, but it felt very much like similar sort of levels to the Watford match, where we just allow, whether it be 2, 3 or 4 players right on the edge of our area, just peppering the goal with shots, and we can't get away with it. And obviously we conceded 2 yesterday again, like we did to Watford. And it's just a severe lack of tactical awareness, I think, from Unai Emery regarding who to play where. I don't know any Arsenal fan that can't see the fact that we need a couple of players, not Xhaka, sitting there right in front of the back, the central defenders, and giving them a lot of protection. And we all know that Torreira's one of those, and I just can't get my head around the role that he's playing for the team at the moment. He seems to be, I don't know, like a number 8 or number 10, and it's just blatantly not his position. And we've got better players that can do that role if that's what Unai Emery wants someone to do. We've also got better players to sit in front of the back four than Xhaka. Now, he's obviously going to be announced as one of the main captain this week at some point, and no one wants that. And it's going to happen. And the problem is, it's going to cause even more friction between him and the managers, Unai Emery and the managers, and Xhaka, because of doing that. And anyway, as I was saying, Torreira needs to sit in front of the back four. That's what he is good at. And alongside him, I'm starting to think of either Chambers or Luiz to play there. But I'd rather have Chambers in the centre of defence instead of Socrates mainly. I think that he's made a lot of unforced errors. I do feel a bit sorry for Luiz. I can't defend his sort of, giving away the penalties too much. However, in his case, he has never played in such a disjointed defence in his whole career, probably. And he's never played in a team that doesn't protect the back four from midfield either. So he's probably got a bit of a shock to the system, and the mistakes that Luiz has made have very much been sort of last resort type of, with the shirt grabbing and putting the leg in front. It's just out of the last resort, really. And I do feel a bit of, sympathy with him for that. But I think out of him and Chambers to play in front of the back four, I would definitely more sort of urge towards Luiz because of the passing ability, which we're not making use of at the moment, by playing him obviously in a centre-back partnership with Socrates. So I would love to see Rob Holding come back fit and strong and playing well, and he could partner Chambers in the centre of defence, and we could move Luiz alongside Torreira in a sort of 4-2-3-1 type of formation. And I think that would really sort of link up the midfield with the defence a lot better. And we'll be able to play Willock and Ceballos, or obviously Guendouzi, ahead of those two as well. So probably Willock and Guendouzi sort of rotating a little bit more. Have Ceballos playing there. He took a bit of criticism yesterday as well, which I think was very strange, because he is one of the players that's showing an awful lot of spirit and fight and emotion in a good way. Alongside, Guendouzi, I think he's a very important cog of the team at the moment, and to give him a lot of stick, I think is ridiculous. We seem to be bashing the younger players like him and Guendouzi a bit too much, really. We need to be really supporting them. They're repaying us and then some at the moment, especially Guendouzi, so let's get behind him. I would probably put my name beside him as captain, to be perfectly honest. The way that he's going, I think he could do an awful lot worse, either him or Aubameyang, in my opinion, at the moment. But we'll see what he announces, Unai Emery. But for me, I just don't know how much more of this kind of football I can really put up with. People are saying, should he go now or should he go at Christmas? And for me, I mean, I wouldn't hang around if I was Raul or Edu, to be perfectly honest. I just hope that, as we all were sort of made aware of, that Edu was brought in to be the overall, looking at the overall picture as far as the football is concerned, and making sure that it all dovetails from the youth academy right the way through to the first team. And the style of football, it has been said, is a lot down to Edu as well. And I'm absolutely positive that he just can't be happy with the way the team are playing at the moment. It's just not befitting of Arsenal, and I don't think anyone could do a worse job than Unai Emery at the moment to get this team ticking. And if it was me, I wouldn't hang about. I'll get him out. I would get Ljungberg in as a caretaker boss, at least until the interlull, where we could hopefully appoint someone during that period. But unless if Ljungberg completely transformed the team, got us playing fantastic football and banging a lot of goals in, then perhaps extend him a little bit longer. Let's see how it goes. But like I said, I just physically struggle to watch the team like this. It's really hard work. It's so flipping emotional, and I just don't think he's been a competent manager in the position, unfortunately. And like I said before, I am not just going on his time at Arsenal, which has been really bad in my opinion, but it's his previous career as well. That really hasn't filled me full of hope that things will turn around in a positive manner. It's always turned out the same way. He was criticised all the way through a lot of his tenure at Paris Saint-Germain, which is one of the main reasons why he left that job, because of the negative tactics and not supporting the front three, the magnificent front three that they had. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm not holding my breath that he will be leaving anytime soon. I wouldn't be disappointed if that happened, but the longer he stays with the club, I will always support him in every match. I will never boo him or anything like that, but behind the scenes I will always have these concerns, and I will not be likely changing my mind anytime soon on him. But yeah, I am still positive about the squad. I think we've got a very, very strong squad now, but the way that squad is being asked to play and the way that we're performing is just such a shame. It's just such a shame. It breaks my heart to see this team playing the way it is, and I'm not sure how much I can put up with it. Really can't. So fingers crossed something will happen soon, but until then I will still carry on supporting the team as I always have done. I'll just take a short break and be back shortly. Welcome back. Well, the 3 points were certainly well received after the Villa match, because the rest of the challenges for us for top 4 all continue to be completely rubbish. I saw a stat, I'm sure, I don't know who it was, I'm sorry, on Twitter. It was actually on a Spurs forum, because I like to look at those occasionally and see what they're saying. And someone dared to be critical about Pochettino. And before their last match, which they lost, they said that Spurs had only won 19 points out of a possible 51. Now that's 19 points out of a possible 54 now. and yet the media still love them. I'm not going to go into all that rubbish again, but it just drives me mad. But long may it continue, and long may we go under the radar. That's all that's the way I'm taking it now, because otherwise I'll just always be in a perpetual rage about the media and Arsenal. And when we played in the Europa League in Germany the other day, and Saka had such a blinder, all the headlines were about Man United's youngster, and nothing. There was hardly anything about Saka, who had such a impressive match and scored a much better goal with 2 assists as well. It did well. As I said, I'm not going to go into all that now, but it was really important. We're back in the top 4 at this early stage of the season, and we've got to stay there, because Chelsea lost, Man United lost. We've got Man United coming up, obviously, in the next game. Are we going to make them look like Barcelona, prime Barcelona? Probably. But I just hope that the players themselves again take the ball by the horns once more and drag us through. And I hope that United carry on being a car crash. Now, it was also going around on Twitter, quite amazing bit of footage really, from the stands at the United game, where Ed Woodward had to turn around and speak to Phil Jones, because Phil Jones just said getting sacked in the morning regarding Ollie, and Woodward turned around to him and said, be quiet, we're on the camera, or the camera's on us, something along those lines. It's quite obvious that you can actually make out that's exactly what was said. So yeah, unbelievable. There must be a bit of inner turmoil there at the club, understandably. But Rashford went off injured. I think he's the prime sort of attacker they've got at the moment. I think they're pretty much down to Greenwood and Jesse Lingard. So I really hope that they have another terrible game against us. They were totally outplayed against West Ham the other day. We've got to be at least, we're a better squad than West Ham. We've got to play at least as good as West Ham did the other day. Otherwise, it's just not good enough. So fingers crossed that we take advantage again, and be very disappointed if we don't. I really want to go into the Christmas period with a good cushion behind us. So we're ahead of Spurs, Chelsea and Man United. Chelsea, out of the 3 of those, are the best, I think, at the moment. I don't rate Tottenham, very inconsistent, and Man United, say they're just dreadful. So let's just please get some good form behind us. We've won the last 2 games now. We've only lost 1 all season, and I really hope we can go on a decent run and put some light between us and the rest, because they're really not looking good, and it could all change next year. They could all have a big turnaround. I wouldn't be surprised if at least 2 of those 3 have new managers. They're bound to strengthen again. Hopefully we will too. However, we might not have it quite so easy with our competitors next season, so we've got to take advantage this year. And if that means like tomorrow we've got Forest in the Carabao Cup, and if we go out of that, I really don't care. That's one less competition to have to worry about. Cut out a lot of games in the upcoming weeks and months, and quite frankly, like I've said before, I'm really not bothered about the Europa League either. Of course I would love to win a bit of European silverware, that goes without saying, but I'm not interested in that competition until we get to the quarterfinals at least. And if we did go out of that, I wouldn't be losing any sleep either, to be perfectly honest, because we've got to concentrate on the Premier League, and the less games we've got to worry about, the better for me. We've got to get Aubameyang through this season, and by hook or by crook, we're very short up front. Cannot wait till Lacazette comes back. Really hope that that penalty that Pepe took and scored against Villa, hope that kicks him on a little bit. So yeah, really what we've got to hope for. We've got to get goals from elsewhere in the team. We cannot be so reliant on Aubameyang and Lacazette. And Aubameyang's got 16 goals in his last 16 games, and where would we be without him? So let's give Martinelli a chance as well. Let's keep going with Saka. Let's hope that Reece Nelson gets going against Forest tomorrow. And let's hope, more than anything, that Unai Emery gets the thirds of our pitch all joined up nicely with his choices in the team moving forward, so that we can play some decent attacking football for once. Fingers crossed.
Mind the gap. Mind the gap.
So, it'll be interesting to find out what team we're going to be choosing for the match tomorrow in the Carabao Cup against Nottingham Forest. Like I said earlier, I'm really hoping to see Martinelli get a start. I hope that Reece Nelson gets a start. Torreira hopefully should get a start. Not sure about the defence. I mean, fingers crossed Rob Holding will get his first start as well. Probably too early for Kieran Tierney and Bellerin. They've only played, I think, one under-23 match up until about the 60th, 70th minute, something along those lines, so they haven't had much. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I hope that Aubameyang doesn't play. I'm sure that Mustafi will play in defence as well, with Callum Chambers, no doubt. Maybe Zach Medley will get a run out. I'm not sure about left back. I think it will have to be Kolasinac. I don't think we've got anyone else, unless I can't think who plays left back for the under 23s. Maybe that might be an option. Robbie Burton might get a game as well. He impressed in pre-season. So yeah, it'd be good to see a team like that tomorrow. It's the only reason I would even bother watching an early round Carabao Cup game, is to see the youngsters in action and see how they get on. So hoping for a win there, but like I said earlier, if we do go out, at least the youngsters have had a run out, and we are not going to get fixture pile-ups towards the end of the season. But I do hope we stay in for at least a couple more rounds to give these fringe players and youth players more of a go. So it's always interesting. Now please stay tuned. Coming up, got a really funny Crack of Dawn episode whereby we have a game of Would You Rather, which is pretty funny. Also some jokes there as well, of course, as you would probably become to expect from Dawn. But literally Dawn is, well, we're both pretty much in hysterics this episode, so yeah, well worth a listen. Please watch the YouTube channel on Wednesday. We've got another show coming up, and the great thing is I've got confirmed a couple of fantastic guests, really exciting guests coming up on the show. Haven't got dates confirmed yet, but it'll be in the near future. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe and click the notifications bell so that you are notified of every live show when it's coming up. You really won't want to miss these two guests that are coming up, and really chuffed to get them on. I'm not going to announce them just yet. I will announce them closer to the time when I know the dates are confirmed. So yeah, keep posted, but please have a watch. Got some good guests coming up this Wednesday as well, and it's always a good laugh. And I will promise to try and stay away from all the negativity this coming Wednesday on the show. So thanks ever so much for listening. Please stay tuned. Upcoming now is me and Dawn in the fantastic segment. This is a good one this week, the Crack of Dawn.
Have you liked it yet? No? Why not? What's going on? You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your grandparents right about now are thinking, wrong uns. Absolute wrong uns. This is wrong, and you know it. Start liking, start subscribing, get on with it. Thank you very much.
Now it's time for what you've all been waiting for, the crack of dawn. With Dawn. Obviously.
You keep going down the heat or coming out to the gravel like that. If you don't get them beyond, you're a show.
Well, welcome to this extra special edition of The Crack of Dawn. This is the interview edition,
Hello there.
the Would You Rather edition.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
I'm going to keep score on, try not to laugh, the scales as well.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Well, you're doing Would You Rather than trying me not to laugh, and I'll ask you some jokes that I try not to make you laugh. Well, try to make you laugh, actually, yes.
Yeah, so this is a very, very serious interview. So you're going to be applying for, I don't know, a banking job.
Okay.
Not really.
Is that one to me already?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Right, let's start this interview then.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Kevin.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hello there.
So why are you applying for this job?
Why am I?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Retired, hopefully.
That'd be nice. Right. First question. I'm going to start you off easy.
Okay.
Would you rather fight a Rottweiler-sized cockroach or a horse-sized gerbil?
A horse-sized gerbil, I think.
Why?
Well, it's with fur, it's bunty, so.
Still going to come up with some big motherfucking teeth.
I know, but a cockroach, like the size of a Rottweiler, just flipping pinch your head off, wouldn't it?
Lovely. I'll accept that answer.
Yes, I think so.
Would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Vader?
Talk like Yoda. So I would. So would I. Talk like Yoda.
Talk like Yoda, I would.
Exactly. See, I can't even do it, so that's why I'd rather do it. Then, Lord, I am your father.
Well, at least you might get some kind of disability benefits for having massive, bad asthma.
Maybe.
Would you rather wee yourself in public once a week or shit yourself in private daily?
Wee myself, I suppose. In public, you could just blame. Like if when you knew it was going to happen, just have a bottle of water with you and just chuck the water over and you say, "Oh, did you
Look
see
at that! You're
that?"
dribbling out my trouser leg.
Yes.
Would you rather shit house bricks or puke slugs?
Shit what? Brick.
House bricks or puke slugs?
Shit bricks, I think.
I absolutely hate slugs. So
I hate slugs as well, and that reminds me of when Harry Potter puts the curse on Ron in thingy. Oh no, it's not Harry Potter. It's the baddie Draco puts the curse on.
Oh yes, I remember.
Or cursory bounds even. Guess it right if I'm going to say it's true. Right, next.
Would you rather pull off your big toenail or paper cut the edges of your mouth?
Oh, pull off the big toe. Without a doubt. Paper cuts are flipping serious at the best of times on your fingers, aren't they? But on the corners of your mouth.
Yeah, so every time you open your mouth, it
Yeah, no. Definitely pull off the big toenail.
Would you rather lick the nicest ice cream in the world off an 88-year-old man's inner thigh and groin, or a rotting dead cow?
Probably probably off the 88-year-old's thigh and groin, to be quite honest with you.
You have to touch his ball bag. With
Well, I could do that as well, but I like steak, but not whilst it's like rancid and shit. No. And it's probably still not cooked or
Yeah, but
still
the old
even
man's going to start getting aroused.
Well, I doubt it very much.
That's rank.
Do 88-year-old fellas still get like their stiffers and stuff? I thought they had all trouble having them do shit like that when they got past
Oh,
it.
there's pills for that nowadays.
Well, I suppose so, yeah.
Oh. Would you rather?
Stick a bag on his head anyway, and have a look at the mantelpiece when you poke in the fire, do you?
Oh. Would you rather wear wet, smelly socks every day for life, or have stinky breath?
I just go with the stinky breath, to be quite honest. You'd tell you'd have flipping athlete's foot and all sorts, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd have trench foot.
Well, yeah, exactly. They'd soon go rotten and just like green and that and drop off, wouldn't they? Disgusting.
Would you rather wear only 80s clothes, or have 80s hair every day?
Wow. Both are pretty bad, to be quite honest.
With real volume in it.
Yeah, I went to see my first hero when I was about 8 or 9 years old. Shaking Stevens, yeah. And I'm just remembering back to the outfit I wore and my hairstyle at the time. Both were absolutely hideous.
I used to wear double denim like that with got shaky.
I wear double denim now, I love it.
And flares.
And I don't wear flares now.
Blocky or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I don't really know quite how to answer that one. I'd probably go with the hair and make sure I've always got a hairband on.
You're not allowed to, you have to have the 80s hairstyle.
Screw it, I'll just go with the hair. I'll just go with the hair then, fine.
Would you rather smell like a terrible fart forever, or drink a diarrhea milkshake?
Well, again, neither are very appealing, are they? I don't really know. I'll fart loads anyway. I probably smell like a terrible fart most of the time anyway.
Would you rather eat a bucket of mangy scabs that's fallen off a dog, or swim in a pool of pus?
As long as I've got like a whole like snorkeling suit over my whole body, I'd probably go with the pool of pus. As long as like absolutely none of it touched my actual skin or anything. Yeah.
Would you rather save the life of a starving person you've never met and never will meet, or have an actual working lifesaver?
Possibly a working lifesaver, to be quite honest. But really what I actually would do. What would I do with a lifesaver?
I'd do lots of stuff with a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Do some welding.
Yeah, I'll stick with a lifesaver, I think.
Would you rather have £100,000 cash, or £1 million worth of Amazon gift cards?
£100,000 cash.
You could do an awful lot to buy me anything on Amazon.
I suppose. I still like the cash.
I'll go for £1 million.
Okay.
Just get rid of £100,000 probably in about a month.
What if you thought about it wisely?
Sex, drugs and rock and roll, the rest are just waste.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you rather eat a pube sandwich or drink a vomit milkshake?
Oh, yuck. Depends whose pubes you wear, I suppose, as well, wouldn't it?
I can't. I hate hair when it's not on attached.
Well, I do as well, especially you get one in, get a hair in your mouth, not necessarily a puke, because you've got to be kind of like in the right type of thing to be getting pubes in your mouth, of course. But yeah, just a hair in your mouth's bad enough, isn't it? So getting all those like wiry things all stuck around your teeth, around your tonsils and shit. But again, vomit, Fucking vile, isn't it? Vile. Yuck, I don't really know about that one.
Got to choose one.
Oh well. Oh.
I'd have to eat the cube sandwich because at least I can roll it up in the bread and you wouldn't
Yeah,
taste it.
just swallow it whole and hope you don't choke.
You just be like a cat or a dog coughing up a
Cough
fur
up
ball.
Come out in your poo. Yuck.
Would you rather eat a bucket of maggots or a whole raw chicken?
When you die for whole raw chicken from salmonella, you could eat the maggots. They'd die pretty much as soon as they went down anyway. Yeah, I'll go for the maggots.
Okay. Would you rather eat a bar of soap or drink a bottle of shampoo?
Eat a bar of soap. My mother often promised she was going to wash my mouth out with a bar of soap, so see what that was like, finally.
Well, that's I've only got one left, and that's the old. No, actually, I've got two left. Beg your pardon. The old classic. Would you rather be invisible or be able to fly?
Invisible, I think. Because then I could just go and get on a plane and fly anyway.
Very
Yeah.
smart. Oh, you have to sit on someone's lap then.
Sit in the aisle. Find a spare seat somewhere. There's always one or two knocking around, isn't there?
Yeah. Just go in the overhead locker.
Yeah. Why not?
Just lie under the chairs.
Sit on the front of the captain.
Would you rather, this is the last one, have real life mermaids in the world or real life unicorns in the world?
Mermaids, I think.
Oh, it's more exciting. Unicorns just like a normal horse.
Yeah.
With a horn.
With a horn.
Horn. A horn.
Yes, I think, yeah, definitely mermaids. Because they always do exist, of course. Right then.
What about yetis and... So there was wild yetis or the Loch Ness Monster?
Say that again. What do I want?
What would you prefer out of yetis in the world or the Loch
Yetis.
Ness Monster?
Yetis, I think.
I don't know. I've been on the Loch Ness on a boat. The boat trip around Loch Ness. That was like, it would have been well exciting to see the Loch Ness Monster.
I think that actually exists anyway.
I reckon there's something in there.
How deep is the Loch Ness?
The deepest.
Loch.
It might be in the world. About a mile deep or something.
Maybe that ain't that deep.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's massive. When you're there, it looks like a small ocean.
Oh.
Some parts you can barely see the other side.
Oh. Yeah.
It would be cool to see yetis though as well.
Yeah.
I can't decide on that one. Probably Loch Ness Monster. Because the family nest.
That's something nice.
Right, what's your jokes?
My jokes right there. Why did the sperm cross the road?
I don't know
Oh, this
why.
one won't work for me. Because I put the wrong sock on this morning.
Wrong pair of knickers on this
Yes.
morning.
What do you do when you come across an elephant in the jungle?
I wouldn't come across an elephant in the
Yeah,
jungle.
wipe it off and say you're sorry. What do you do if your wife starts smoking?
Pour water on her.
Yeah, slow down and possibly use some lubricant.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, isn't it? Right then, let's have a look. There, a guy sitting in the doctor's office. The doctor walks in and says, "So I have some bad news, I'm afraid. You're going to have to stop masturbating." The patient, "I don't understand, Doc, why?" And the doctor says, "Because I'm trying to examine you." What's the best thing about fingering a gypsy on a period? You get your palm red for free.
That's right. What website you got these off?
I'm
Like-
not sure. What's worse than ants in your pants? uncles. Sorry. What did Cinderella do when she got to the ball?
Gag.
If women drink a glass of red wine, it increases the chance of a stroke. If she drinks the whole bottle, she might even be a little soft.
What? Say that last bit again.
If women drink a glass of red wine, it increases the chance of a stroke. If she drinks the whole bottle, she might even give it a little soft. There's a few there that I can't actually say.
We'll say something next week.
Yeah, okay then.
Oh, birthday shout out to Mark. It's his birthday on Monday the 23rd of September, a week before mine. It's at FC_Columbia. So, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Mark, happy birthday to you. So, I'll see you next week.
Oh, but you forgot to say who won with the points.
Oh, I think I won, to be fair.
Right, yeah.
Well, that was fun.
It was, but I'm still crying.
We shall reconvene next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
week. Bye bye. There's a quick belated happy birthday as well to Tony Turner, who had his birthday on the 6th. So happy birthday, Tony. And it's at TAO Profit 420. Many happy returns, mate. Two more birthdays to mention. There's Boston Gunner Billy, my man, who's at Arsenal_Boston. Great news about your little daughter. She looks beautiful, Billy, and a very happy birthday for today, Monday the 23rd, a week before mine again. And Old Bloke Steve, who is at Calvados 100. It was his birthday the day after the Watford game. Bit of a shame for that weekend, but many belated happy birthday wishes for you, Steve, as well. Take care, mate.
Can anyone catch them, do you think?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, unbelievable. We didn't expect that.
Awesome fingers, spread them on